trampoline that you're always jumping on. And I recorded my entire audiobook of What's in It for Them on this thing on day 2 and 3, and it made it so much easier. And so if you're in front of a computer with a standing desk, or if you're doing whatever, but you know, I thought, okay, that's kind of cool. You're jumping up and down on it. But then Wes actually knows how to explain what this does to you. So that's why I wanted you to explain because you spent 30 minutes every morning on this, listening to podcasts or just doing stuff. So
thank you, Joe. I run a clinic called Breakthrough Performance and Rehab. And Joe came to my clinic not that long ago, and we've developed a real deep relationship very quickly. The reason that is he and I share a similar backdrop in terms of our story. I had severe sexual trauma from the age of 4 to 13, and it left me unable to function. I had 3 different autoimmune diseases by the time I was 19, and 70 different signs and symptoms. That journey has led me to where I'm at today, and Joe has played an integral part in the last piece of that journey, and I want to thank you for that, Joe, because a lot of what you talk about in your book, What's in It for Them, is all about connection. And one of the things that he talks about is if we do not connect internally, we can still connect externally, but only to a degree. And I work with a lot of entrepreneurs in my clinic, and I can say that sometimes, I would say a lot of the time, most entrepreneurs are designed to still be in trauma mode, and it drives their success. And most of them believe that if they actually heal their trauma and connect internally, that they'll lose their edge. And I promise you, and I challenge you, because Joe said earlier that if you only applied 5% of your time and energy in terms of your internal work, you would have exponential returns. And I would challenge that I don't know how many of you put the time into doing internal work, and that includes all of health, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual. We live in a society that's extremely disconnected, and it's impressive to be among so many of you who have actually helped me along my own journey. I've read a lot of your books, and because of that, I am here today. And Matt Dahl, who is the owner of SandDune Stepper, I always am looking for technologies to increase our connection to ourselves. And so one of the technologies that he talked about was the new fit. It sends sensory afferent signaling. All that means is information coming from our environment into us. But it's at about 250 times the strength that we could normally send. This helps eliminate pain, accelerate healing. Oftentimes rehab cases are all cut down by 50 to 70%. And it helps us perform better in our life more efficiently. It almost seems too good to be true, but I challenge you. I've been around the technology for over 17 years, and I've never seen anything like it. I work with neurological conditions, MS, spinal cord injury, and trauma, and a lot of what I'm doing is helping the individual reconnect to the areas that have become disconnected. The SandDune Stepper, what makes it unique and what makes it different than just a traditional balance board is most of us walk around in tennis shoes with a very thick sole. Most people don't realize how much that disconnects us from the very sensory information that is supposed to be there to allow our gait to work properly. On top of that, when you jump or you do jump rope, 10 minutes is equivalent to 30 minutes of cardio. And so efficiency is what most entrepreneurs are all about. The beauty is that it has essentially a type of memory foam that increases the neurofeedback that you're getting from the ground. And it acts, the reason they call it SandDune is it actually strengthens the muscles of our feet. And most of us are not prepared to be able to walk barefoot, but this is a device that actually helps with the transition to barefoot shoes that most people are actually probably have learned about in the last 5 to 10 years, and the importance of that. It also increases the lymphatic stimulation. So lymphatic stimulation, the reason why sitting for long periods of time is so unhealthy for us is that rhythmic movement is the only thing that stimulates the lymphatic system. And so when you have the SandDune Stepper and it's actually the foam is causing the rhythmic bounce up and down, it actually increases the level of stimulation of the lymphatic system. And so this is great for people who are transitioning from being non-active or sedentary to activity. So the feedback is what essentially is being enhanced. And so what Joe...
I'll stop now just for the mic purposes.
No, so some of the key things is that there's no single tool to help with healing, but the more tools that actually enhance the connection to ourselves is the most paramount in your healing journey. I go to Optimize probably 4 or 5 times a week, and Michael and Jesse have created a powerful community of like-minded people. And I was reflecting the other day, I said, if only our world could create environments and create a social construct that allowed for healthy interaction, such as what they've created there, all entrepreneurs could actually have a place that would be healthy to go to. Instead of the bar, go to Optimize, right? I've created more conversations and think tanks just being in the sauna with like-minded people. And so I think...
A couple of dudes in the sun is a sort of a weird thing in the sun.
Yeah, so the way in which I use the SandDune in the clinic is just one of the tools that I help people reconnect with their body. And so highly recommend that if you're all about efficiency and ability to increase the strength of your feet and your connection to eventually go barefoot, that would allow for a healthier gait, healthier cardiovascular system, which oftentimes is neglected significantly and is one of the most important things for allowing communication throughout the entire body. Most therapies that are integrative in nature focus all on connection. And part of that